Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming tonight. My name is Norm Finley. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees here at Oglethorpe. Our son Brian is a 1999 graduate of Oglethorpe. I'm also a veteran of the Vietnam era. Served 4 years as a naval officer during 1966 to 1970. And so I'm going to moderate our panel tonight. But what I'm hoping is that we can just have discussion back and forth ongoing. We're a small group, and that everybody can ask a question when you want or make a point when you want, and we'll go from there. And so what I might ask, I'll start on the opposite end with Fred Agel, and just ask if everybody maybe introduce themselves, tell a little bit about their military experience, a little bit maybe about life after and returning to life after, and we'll go from there, Fred.
Well, life after is Oglethorpe University, so I don't have to say much, but I got in right after the end of the conflict, but the war hadn't been declared officially over, so I am categorized as a veteran in the Second World War. I did go to the Philippines and had the distinction when I first got there was guarding Japanese prisoners, and ended that after about a month and became the head of the radio section of G4, and from that I got to drive the general that is in charge of G4, General Frank A. Heilman, who had been a buck private for 5 years, so he really appreciated the fact that he was a general and how he arrived at it. But also the fact that I had to drive General MacArthur for 3 days. They flew over General Highland, and I had a 1939 Plymouth sedan, which wasn't good enough for MacArthur. They flew over a Packard car, and I was responsible to see that it was repainted and restored and what have you. And be honest with you, that's, he has a distinction in my heart of being the worst human being I've ever met.
You need to know me better. You don't know me well.
But I did get my discharge, and the Army was I got $300 as severance pay, I think it was, that allowed me to buy a 1935 Oldsmobile automobile that used 24 quarts oil. And what head gas getting from New Jersey down to Oglethorpe University. Here I am.
You still have that car, I hope. No?
My name is Jeff Hoffman. I am a senior here at Oglethorpe. I'm currently the president of the Oglethorpe Veterans Club and president of Omicron Delta Kappa. I'm an Afghanistan veteran. I was deployed to Afghanistan in 08-09. It was only for about a term of 90 days. My combat experience is somewhat limited, pretty much equated to waking up 3 o'clock in the morning with the worst alarm clock in the world, and running with my helmet and underwear towards a shelter. So, but I wouldn't trade the experience that I have had over there for anything. It was an eye opener as to exactly how the world works and how things are different. When I got out of the Army, I served in the Canadian Army as well for about 6 years before I joined the U.S. Army for 4. I was a lieutenant up there for a while. They were some of the best years of my life. I founded the Oglethorpe Veterans Club here at school after returning. We had a Veterans Day. There was a Veterans Day came along in around 2010, and I didn't really see anything happening on campus, and I didn't really see anything. I didn't really see that memory being kept alive. Not criticizing anybody for it, but I took it upon myself and a few other friends to actually start this club up and get it going to raise awareness about this and to make sure that these memories are never forgotten. So that's why.
Hi, I'm Tom Riley, and right after graduating from Oglethorpe University in 1967 with a business degree, I found myself in the infantry in Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah, wow was right. Talk about a contrast. I served with something called the 199th Light Infantry Brigade. And basically, we were in South Vietnam, the area between Saigon and Cambodia, the Mekong Delta, etc. I spent half my tour straight infantry. I worked my way up from ammo bearer to radio telephone operator. And the last half of my tour, I became a war correspondent for the United States Army in my own boss for 6 months. While I was there, I received the Bronze Star, 2 Purple Hearts, and Combat Veteran's Badge. Learned the Vietnamese language. Came home 2 miles from there, walked into my mother's living room, and on TV I saw men walking on the moon. It was July 20th, 1969. That's when the transition back to civilian life officially began.
Well, I'm Charles Shepard. I'm an Atlanta native. I went to Atlanta Public Schools. I went to North Georgia College. I went to Georgia Tech. I joined the Army to get the advanced ROTC program there to get commissioned. And they called us all to active duty and sent us to OCS. And I graduated on December the 28th, 1943, at the age of 20 as a combat infantry officer. I speak to high school students and point out to them that when I was commissioned to second lieutenant, I was just a few years older than they were at that time. And I was assigned to an infantry company in France in about July the 15th, 14th, 15th, sometime around that. We didn't keep diaries for some reason or other. They said infantry soldiers don't keep diaries. They might get captured. They give away too much information. So a lot of this I have to remember. And as I grow older, the memories get broader and broader. But I enjoy that because I speak quite frequently to groups. I spoke for 30 minutes noon today to a group. I'll speak next Sunday maybe for 45 minutes. I spoke last Thursday about my experiences in World War II. And I could take up the rest of the evening because, as my wife says, when I start talking, I don't remember how to stop. I was wounded once in France and once in Germany. I did receive a couple of Bronze Stars, and the last time I was wounded in Germany, I was involved in a situation where I received a Silver Star. Later, after the war was over, the infantry school has a Hall of Fame